Well, the circus continues. There is never a dull moment with this franchise. And that's not even a cliche. There's truly never a dull moment. There is always something happening in the Jets franchise to talk about, to discuss. There's always some headliner. There's always a player who's doing something in the locker room he shouldn't be doing. We're always in the news. We're benching quarterbacks. We're bringing 48-year-old quarterbacks to play. Never, ever a dull moment in this franchise. The New York Jets will be starting Joe Flacco on Sunday with Zach Wilson as the backup quarterback because he is, for some ungodly reason, the Jets coaching staff haven't done what they've needed to do with him in order for him to be a starter. So they're blaming themselves for that. And Joe Flacco, who literally cannot move when he snaps the ball. He can move 4 steps. That is it. So if there are no receivers open after he does his drop back, you're done. There's no elaboration. There's no opening up the play. There's nothing. You're done. You can no longer throw. You will be sacked. We have the worst offensive line that we've had all year now going out there. Guys that are, in Saleh's terms, guys that are fighters and that are going to prove themselves. Time to prove it in the last game of the season. I understand slightly that you don't want to put Wilson in the game with a beat-up offensive line. I get it. But I'm getting a little nervous about all of this. Everything's about 23 for Zach. So it's not about this game. It's getting him ready for next year. If we march Zach Wilson out next year as the number 1 QB and Mike White is the backup, you can't even speak. You can't speak. I'm going to sell all of my equipment. I'm going to sell all my Jets paraphernalia. I'm going to create a special room in my house and I'm going to watch the Jets games alone with the lights off. That would be the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen as a franchise to do something like that. If you want to keep Zach, that's fine. But you cannot start him next year with the question mark that he still has on him. You just can't. You need to bring in somebody else. So I'm getting a little nervous about all this. We're getting Zach ready for next year conversations that I keep hearing with Mike LaFleur and Saleh discussing. It is unbelievable. The circus continues in New York. In Jersey. We don't even play in New York. The circus continues in Jersey. Joe Flacco, Statue Joe, will continue will end this season as a starter with Zach Wilson as the backup. He's good enough to be the backup, but not good enough to be active the last couple games. If we don't see Streveler in some package, I mean, the dysfunction is unbelievable. And I'm a huge Saleh guy, but man, has this been a bad year of coaching. A bad year of coaching and a carousel of quarterbacks who have no idea what they're doing. Man, do I feel for these. I feel for Garrett Wilson, dude. What a year he had with these quarterbacks. Can you imagine if he had an adequate quarterback? The dude might have 2,000 yards. Well, I will be watching the game Sunday as we always do. And go Jets.